That's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, the following podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, he is the man of mischief, the master of shenanigans, the horrific haunts. Shifty Gizm, next he hails from Italy. Eurasia, Europa, Sir Ronald Rome, Arminius, Romericus, Romulo, Augustus, Rome's. Finally, from the bluegrass state, he is Kentuckiana's finest, the sorcerer supreme, the StreamYard, the ostinator. And this is your full throttling, 5-star sword swinging, table breaking, lads lifting, gimmick giving, good old wrestling, backseat, autonomous, freedom duffing, liberty loving, globe adventuring, podcast federation. No, and it started right, god dang. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've promoted that, it is time for the rest of the wrap-up. I have been Shifty Gizm and still am and forever shall be. And if I'm not, well guess what? I ain't gonna know the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you like the content, comment down below. You know what it do, it helps with the algorithm. I don't know what it is, but sometimes, you know, it needs a little kickstart, just a little clickety, hissity, hiss. Hey, if I can remember to like and maybe even enjoy stuff, then so can you. And if you're having a bit of time about it, say she sells seashells by the seashore. Please like and enjoy. God bless Al Gore and his rhythm, wherever he may be. I don't care about that part so much, so sue me. We upload sporadically, but we try to get stuff out as much as possible. And when you enter, we guarantee you will never leave.
Well, the first half of that worked at least.
The first half worked.
Yeah, it did.
Everything else, however, not so much.
From Bless God, from Bless Al Gore on,
Yeah. I'm like, Al Gore, what the fuck?
algorithm. Also, my name is Shifty Gizm, not Shifty Gizm.
Gosh darn
it! He got it right the first time. The second time, he screwed it up.
Yeah, you know, I think next time we're probably just gonna do the first half, probably,
or just write some lyrics out.
Yeah, it's the temporary intro music, guys. It's not gonna be the permanent song. But I think for novelty's sake, we're gonna keep it around for a little bit just for the Al Gore line, because let's be honest,
Well,
that's the most important one.
Yeah, the first Al Gore mention was okay, but then it took a turn
Yeah,
there.
it was pretty random.
It helps with the Al Gore. Like, I don't even know what that even means. Like,
it's a pun. Algorithm. Algorithm.
oh, but even then, that's so fucking weird. Like, why? Who wrote this? The Rock?
Yeah, Rock
Sounds like-
wrote it.
Yeah, you know, I'm blaming that new intro song on The Rock. Let's be fair. The Rock's to blame for everything. Even if I stub my toe, that has nothing to do with them. It's The Rock's fault.
Goddamn John Cena.
Gosh darn it, John Cena.
Oh, yeah, it was his idea.
Knew it. I should have known that The Rock was up to no good, stealing people's souls.
Okay, they've probably already announced it on SmackDown if they're on there tonight. But I don't care what they name their faction. The Twitter favorite, Break a Wish Foundation. That's money right there. That's what I'm calling them.
Foundation. I agree.
Yeah, that's perfect.
They're the modern day mega powers.
Yeah, well, for now, there's going to be a third member.
Travis Scott's going to be the third member, guys. Did you see Elimination Chamber?
Oh man, eardrum busting smack he gave. God.
Oh, that was a hard smack too.
Yeah. Wow.
We're going to talk about that and more on the Elimination Chamber recap episode of Good Ol Wrasslin, boys. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody enjoyed the intro. If you didn't, well, tough luck. It's not my fault. I didn't write the song. So, but blame the AI algorithm. Yes, I used AI for the song. Okay, I'm not a music artist. You want to hear me sing? Your eardrums will be destroyed. So,
yeah.
So realistically, I think it's better off that we use AI there. But like I said, well, more improvements will be made somewhat. But till then, we're here. We're living. John Cena is a bad guy. It's crazy times right now in the world of professional wrestling.
Cats and dogs living together.
Superman's gone evil. This is in the Injustice verse in real life. Is it real? Yes, unfortunately, it is real. We'll talk about it and more.
I'm really excited for him. I'm very happy for Cena, and it makes sense for me, in my opinion, because the guy hasn't won a match in 3,000 days. He's lost the Royal Rumble.
Well,
he sold his soul to The Rock.
He won a match.
17.
He won the Elimination Chamber.
First match in 3,000 plus days.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't win it clean. He had to have help, technically.
Yeah. And I think that was a giveaway, too, where it was going next when he took advantage of Punk after being curb stomped.
But he said he was sorry. When he put the STF on, he said, I'm sorry.
He wasn't sorry. He was playing us all along.
Just like when he kicked Cody Rhodes in the nuts.
Bang. Yeah, but... So they say he sold his soul to The Rock, but I could have swore he sold his soul to China a couple years ago.
God damn it, you're right. And you know what? You know what else reminds me of China?
Oh God,
The Rock. So it all ties back together. It's like poetry. It rhymes. I knew it. I should have known when John Cena did the Bing chilling video that this was all going to lead to this. Gosh, if we only saw Black Adam 10 times each in the theater, maybe this would never have happened.
Yeah, maybe not.
But anyway, we got a couple things to talk about before we talk about the thing everybody wants us to really talk about, because I know everyone's like, oh my God, guys, you got to talk about John Cena Tornado, guys. It's the biggest. Listen, we understand it's the biggest news. We also understand John Cena Sr. also turned heel. It's going easy.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
He's still around.
Okay.
He's still kicking.
Yeah, apparently, like Bill, like just a quick side note, Bill Apter like called in. He's like, "Hey, so what?"
Wait, Bill Apter still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Wow.
He called like John Cena's father. He's like, "Hey, so what do you think about John turned heel?" He's like, "God damn it, I'm sick and tired of all you people calling me about this shit." He's got every reason. I don't fucking know. He's like, "Thank you and goodbye" or something. He's like going on a rant there. I was like, "Oh my god, John Cena Senior going off. He's turned the whole Cena family's turning heel as we see. It's going crazy." But before we get into the really dark, sad stuff of Super Cena turning heel, hashtag RIP Super Cena. He lasted a long time. He buried a lot of talent, but you know what? We'll always remember that goofy dweeb. RIP Super Cena. You will always live in my heart as the guy who, actually, let's face it, he really was a heel all along. He was just pretending to be a babyface. I mean, for the love of God, poor Rey Mysterio. He really fucked him over. He's really not. He really wasn't a good. He really was a good character. He really wasn't really a good babyface. To be fair, he was really not. He was really. He was really not. He was actually really a heel the whole time. He's just now just be like, yeah, I'm a heel, and we're all like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
God damn it, John! Fucking hell. Well, what about all the 4-year-olds now? They're gonna cry now. Like,
oh yeah, they already are.
Yep, their hero turned heel. He's a bad guy. He sold his soul to The Rock.
Gosh darn it! Hell's frozen over when CM Punk was the good guy all along.
He wasn't joking.
I mean, if you really think about it, I know you'll keep sidetracking, but let's realistically think about this. CM Punk was like, look, listen, he's a bad guy, but he was like advocating for straight edge, like he's like making sure people like had a healthier lifestyle, and he's telling the truth about a lot of things. And here comes Cena, and he's lying, and it's like,
oh, he told the truth about The Rock on his promo on Monday. That was a great promo.
We're also gonna talk about a little bit about Raw because WrestleMania is shaping up to be very interesting now because certain women's champion lost her belt on Monday, so it seems like a triple threat on the horizon. Which, you know what?
But it's we'll get into it.
We'll get into that.
That was a giant. What the fuck?
It was, but it's. Yeah.
I didn't even see the match. I went to sleep. I thought, okay, Rhea's gonna win this. Like, whatever. Then I found out from my wife, like, Rhea lost. I'm like, what? She lost. It's like 5 weeks to WrestleMania. Why would they let her lose? But I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on there that we don't know about.
Well, I mean, I think Charlotte's probably going to stay over on SmackDown, or they're not. I mean, isn't Bianca a SmackDown superstar?
She was. Now she'll be going to Raw to wrestle the women's champion at Raw.
But if she wins, well, I don't know. I think more likely Rhea's going to win it back because I don't think they're going to move Bianca. That's what I'm thinking. Still, I would rather them have Bianca instead of going to a 3-way match. I'd like to see her go up against Logan Paul, just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, fuck that guy Logan Paul. CM Punk did the God's work on Saturday when he eliminated Logan Paul, and everyone cheered, and we're like, yeah, CM Punk is really. We all love CM Punk.
But I'm curious to know where he goes from here because they're gonna resolve his thing with Seth Rollins this Monday night in a steel cage match. So I don't know where they're going with him too.
We might talk about that when we get into the recap because I have a couple theories on where they're gonna go. But always remember, it's all Seth Rollins' fault.
Did you said theory?
Theory? Don't you mean a Austin Theory live?
Let's hope not.
God, good Lord, no. Absolutely, yeah, I agree. No, get that man away. He is not. We'll talk more about it. Let's get into some lighter news, kind of. Rey Fenix is gone. Tony Khan finally released that man. He's finally out of purgatory, and now he can go to WWE whenever he wants, basically. First of all, good on Rey Fenix. I'm glad he's out. I think we talked about it last week quite a bit. I think more so I talked about it. I ranted about it. If you're not going to use talent, just get rid of them and let's call it for what it is. Tony Khan added injury time onto his thing with no real intention to use them.
Yeah.
It was just a bad business decision and just really, really goofy, really dumb to add injury time to a guy that you're not going to use. For what? Realistically, was it just because you didn't want him to go to WWE with Penta? Was that all it was? I mean, I don't know. From a business standpoint, I understand adding injury time because, like, if you're gonna be with a company, you might as well add injury time to get some sort of stuff out of them. But if we really think about it, AEW really wasn't selling a lot of merch. Didn't really like. This is what WWE's been doing with Penta. That's been smart. You're like selling like Pentagon masks, like you're selling Pentagon merch. AEW never did that.
Nope.
Like, you know how much money AEW would have made on Pentagon and Rey Fenix masks?
That's wild to think they didn't do anything to capitalize on that. That's wild.
No.
I mean, it just goes back to what Punk said. They weren't about selling tickets and drawing people to the arenas. It was just let's get that TV network deal from Warner Brothers. I mean, that's the other thing. Yeah. Apparently, they're gonna be doing pay-per-views on Amazon Prime and not on Max. So where the hell did that come from? And
then Ricochet called a lot of people stupid on Twitter because he's like, you think that it's going to be free? And then a lot of people was trying to tell him like, well, Amazon Prime's like $25, $27 a month, and it should be free. I mean, with the subscription, because I mean, people's conditioned into paying what $10, or like I only pay 99 cents a month for Peacock, and I get the PLEs, for next to nothing. I mean, those guys are paying like $30. They should get it for free.
And it just questions, what is Tony Khan's motive and direction for AEW? Is it just to run it to the ground, or try to build something here and try to generate more interest with your product? Because it just feels like it's just a giant shit show down there.
And who wants to spend that type of money on a pay-per-view when they're airing like, God, how many shows do they have a week?
Right now, only 2.
Dynamite and Collision, yeah.
Okay, they scale back, but still, I mean, it's too much, especially when you compare WWE's model where, it's a lot cheaper and you get, I don't know.
Yeah, and also too, like WWE's like is more accessible when it comes to their content.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, AEW has not put all their backlog onto Max yet. It's primarily just been like their first year, and then the later half of 2024, Dynamites and Collisions, and 2025, like there's that stuff. But not putting pay-per-views on Max was kind of like a massive loss in my opinion. And like even if you had to do it at a discounted price, you still should have found a way to do something. Because
AEW Revolution right now, if you want to watch it on Prime Video, it's going to be $49.99.
Oh,
like nothing's changed.
That's a video game right there. Like 2 nice action figures.
Yeah, that's like, I'm sorry, but that's absurd. Like, I'm sorry if you're like, I think Shifty, you said it earlier. It's like, if you're already spending money on Amazon Prime, why am I spending more money on top of that? And not to mention, paying for the pay-per-view is more than the fucking Amazon Prime subscription.
And if you look at it like this, I mean, that's what, 3 hours for $50. And for $50, you can order, man, how many movies for like $4 a piece?
Right.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, their promo for their promo photo, it's 2 WWE guys. It's John Moxley and Edge. So it's no MJF, no Swerve, no Adam Page. Yeah.
Like, they're not household names. They're nobody knows who they are.
No Osprey. It's just fuck those guys. we'll just have WWE guys to kind of make you think it's a WWE, pay-per-view. I don't know. It's just
I know people are going to be like, "Oh, guys, Revolution is it's this Sunday. Why aren't you guys doing a prediction stream for this?" Well, first of all, not all of us are going to be watching AEW Revolution. First of all, it's on a Sunday, not a Saturday, so that already kind of sucks because I got to work the following day, and I'm not staying up late to watch Revolution. Because I know how long AEW pay-per-views are, and let me tell you, they're long. Super long.
Yeah, the match card is 10. So you got the first one, which is like a pre-pay-per-view match, which is like a trios match. Then you got the second match will be Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher, the steel cage match. Okada versus Brody King. MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. Tag team match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners. Mercedes Moné versus Momo. 7 is Swerve versus Ricochet, which I don't know. Swerve deserves better. Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Takeshita versus Kenny Omega for the International Championship, and it's Jon Moxley versus Cope for the AEW World Championship.
Realistically, I really hope Cope wins the belt and Christian Cage cashes in on him.
That'd be great.
And just end this Death Rider stuff, because I'm sorry, this Death Rider story is not good. Like, it's so confusing. Like, nobody cares. And I have an issue with the Swerve and Ricochet match. Why is that match determining the number one contender to the world title when Hangman Adam Page and MJF would have made more sense to be the number one contenders match? It doesn't make sense. To be fair with you, the card looks good. I'm not saying this card looks bad. Like, it looks great. But realistically, unless you're a hardcore AEW guy, does anybody really care? I mean, judging by their attendance, I would suspect not.
I mean, that Ospreay versus Fletcher match in a steel cage looks interesting, but other than that, for $50, it's going to be a real hard sell for anybody to really watch this.
Yeah,
you have to be a hardcore wrestling. Like us, we're big wrestling fans, but there's just no buzz with Revolution or AEW right now. And if Ricochet's your buzz, you're in trouble.
Like, to be fair, there are a handful of matches here that do look like the matches, from an in-ring standpoint, Romes, I think you can agree with me on this. From an in-ring standpoint, I think these matches are going to be great.
I agree.
Like Ospreay Fletcher, that Meltzer's going to immediately be like, 10 stars on that one. Takeshita Omega, that on paper, again, that sounds great. Tony Storm, Mariah May, they had a really good match at All In or All Out or whichever one it was in London. That was great. Swerve and Ricochet from an in-ring standpoint is going to be good. But like you said, there's not a lot of buzz and excitement right now. Like, nobody's talking about AEW.
Well, they had a little skirmish between May and Tony Storm on the red carpet premiere for the new wrestling movie that came out. But, I mean, nobody's really talking.
King of the Ring?
Yeah, but still nobody's really talking about that movie either, so I don't know how much traction it got. I saw it on Twitter. That's like the only thing I ever see on Twitter about AEW. It's always Tony Storm. That's the only thing that gains traction for AEW. Is
just Tony Storm, yeah.
And I said this before, and I'm not trying to discredit any of the talent, but when your main event scene consists of Jon Moxley, Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, and Jeff Jarrett in 2025, you have a fucking problem.
Jeff Jarrett. God damn.
But you just released guys like Ricky Starks, Rey Fenix, Malachi Black, Miro, guys who should be in your main event scene by now. You did nothing with them. So it's difficult for me. Revolution's a very hard sell for me because I'm just not excited for it. Like maybe I'm just in the minority here because I already know everyone's going. Oh, Austin, you're a tribalist then because we love AEW. You should love AEW. It's like, look, I'm not saying I don't like AEW. I've been watching a lot of the 2019 stuff and it's been great. But they have nobody can tell me that this is a completely different company than it was like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to I really hope nobody's thinking I'm bad-mouthing them to bad-mouth them. I'm just like really like flabbergasted almost.
I just wish
Right.
I wish Kenny would just get out of there. I know he has reasons why he don't want to go back to WWE, but I'd love to see him at WrestleMania on a big scale. I mean, he's already experienced that when they did that show in Wembley Stadium, but still, I mean, he would be he's missing out. He should have went there before AEW, to be honest, because that would probably would have helped AEW more if he could, become a even bigger star than he was in New Japan. Stay there for like a year or two in WWE, fight Seth Rollins, whatever. Then go over to AEW and join the Bucks and stuff. And people would know who he is then. But he took the wrong path, I think. But
only time will tell. The only other thing I gotta say about Rey Fenix going to WWE at this point, he's gonna make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, and it's a good thing.
Buzz.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Callisto isn't there anymore because they had like the same mask. They had the little flap on the back and the.
That's true.
Yeah. But he's going to do good. I think we're going to see a lot of matches, of course, with Penta, but they have sort of a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn relationship. So we're going to probably see them turn on each other a lot if they stay with the company because they've been wrestling together for ages. I mean, they were on Lucha Underground and CMLL, and they've been together for years.
I mean, they're not going to turn on. I don't think they're going to turn them on each other like right away.
No.
Because when you see a truckload of money, just like with like anticipation, you're going to want to capitalize on that like big hunking truckload of money that you're inevitably going to get with these guys.
But at some point, especially after WWE recently purchasing the backlog catalog of Lucha Underground, from what I hear. So they were enemies during that time. So, at some point you're going to see them, have a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn type fallout.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm glad that Rey Fenix and Pentagon are going somewhere where they're going to make a crap ton of money doing what they do.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of backlogs, it was announced today or yesterday. It's free now. WCW is totally free on YouTube.
Yep. I saw that. I was
sweet.
like, what? It's like, hell yeah. I wonder if they're going to add some of the old WCW Saturday nights on to that WCW channel.
I imagine they have to. I think this is where they're pushing it because people were complaining that, Netflix wasn't going to add like the old content. And I think Peacock is kind of, I don't know. For one thing, Peacock is glitchy. I told you when we were doing the WCW recaps, I was having a lot of problems with it just not. The problem was I got the ad tier, and when you go to the ads, some of them freeze, and then you try to get back into the app, and you can't get back to the part of the shows you missed. It was a nightmare. So moving it to YouTube's a lot better.
Yeah. Oh God. The WCW channel literally just put up the full match of Hollywood Hogan and Sting at Starrcade '97. I don't know if I would have done that, but it's
that's kind of funny.
Literally, one of the top comments is Hogan, "Yo, Patrick, brother, you know when they told you to count fast? It doesn't work for me, brother."
At least it wasn't the Warrior and Hogan.
I love very cheeky of WWE Vault to upload this fucking match as one of the first on this new channel. LOL. I'm like, yeah, true. Oh man. All right. So, you know what? Before we get, I think we're gonna bounce out here. Actually, no, I think we'll do this one next. Luger and the Natural Disasters have been announced to be in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, and we already got people complaining online about Luger that you knew that was coming, but
yeah.
I'm happy he's in the Wrestling WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, it's long overdue.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, like when you have two people living together and living the lifestyle him and Elizabeth did,
Yeah.
You can't really blame one or the other because they're both partaking in stuff they shouldn't be. And even though Luger has said, he said it just this past week during that interview that he had, he was facilitating the lifestyle that led to her death, but he wasn't the one that actually killed her. But I mean, it's a sad. I don't understand why she's not in the Hall of Fame. I don't. You got a murderer with Jimmy Snuka. That's an actual murderer right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, listen, my ideology is if Coco Beware can be in the Hall of Fame, then Lex Luger should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. In defense of Coco, have you seen many of his matches?
Only a couple.
Okay, he was a great high flyer and one of African American descent. You didn't have very many African American wrestlers back then, and he was a great high flyer. So there was reasons why they put him in the Hall of Fame. So people don't actually. A lot of these guys they crap on him, but they didn't really watch their matches. So he was pretty good.
But circle back to Lex Luger. One of my earliest memories of him as a kid was his feud with Mr. Perfect back in the day.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I remember as a kid, battling for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, that was right when he came in as
the narcissist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which didn't last very long, and he went to the All-American Lex Luger.
But it was a fun. As a kid, I was like, that was one of the first things. One of the first things I remember that got me into wrestling, or just wrestling, WWF, just in general. I just remember that as a kid. That was very interesting.
Yep. And then he had that initial run with Yoko, and him coming out off the chopper to go to the Body Slam Challenge on the USS Intrepid. And he told a story the other day that he couldn't find his footing in the ring, and he was talking to Yoko. When they were smack talking, he was actually saying, I don't have footing in this ring. Yoko, you're going to have to help me slam yourself. And he said, Yoko said, don't worry about it, brother. And if you watch the video, Yoko pushes off his thigh and does a flip. He turns his own self into that slam. And Luger said he couldn't have done it unless Yoko was that skilled in the ring. But yeah, Luger had a great career before he even came to WWE. His early days in NWA and WCW, and then he went back and won the championship against the NWO and stuff. But around that time, though, a lot of people they were giving him crap because there was rumors, dirt sheets, that he was a whiner backstage. I don't know how much of that is true, but I mean, even if he was, by then he had already become a big enough star to where he should have earned a place to where he should have got a high profile status and perks and stuff.
Yeah, it's look, at the end of the day, I've seen this on Twitter too, and I've seen it on social media where everyone's like, "Oh, the Lex Luger Elizabeth, you killed Elizabeth." It's like, look. I don't think it's fair to blame him on that. Like, look, am I saying he didn't enable the behavior? No, he probably did. But she actively made a choice. Like, I don't want see, now it's going to sound like I'm speaking ill of the dead, and I'm not trying to do that.
No. But I mean, you got to take into account it was a different time, and a lot of people were into hard drugs and steroids, and it was the 80s and 90s, early 90s. It was just a party atmosphere, and it took its toll on not just wrestlers or rock stars, but rock stars somehow. I don't know if they drunk enough booze to counteract the effects of drugs, because it seems like a lot of those guys. They're still living compared to wrestlers, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just and not to mention, a lot of people that you think were your role models back then, or your heroes, they had demons, or they weren't
Oh, of
very.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we're learning that now of Hogan, and I mean, it's just it's just you need to just. I think too many people put these guys up on a pedestal, and they're human beings, and they have their faults.
Yeah.
Especially back in those days, as you mentioned. I mean, imagine if there was like social media back then, and
Oh,
how
yeah.
crazy that would have been of stuff that they were doing and getting away with. I mean, we hear stories about it, and just can't imagine this stuff was actually happening. But there's videos of these things. Holy shit! I mean,
Yeah,
they all would have been like fired, canceled, and never reached their potential.
just watch any episode of Dark Side of the Ring, which is coming back this
Mhm.
month, by the way,
Excited.
just watch any interview Jake St. Roberts ever did. He's honest about the stuff that happened.
Yeah, of
Man.
course.
I mean, at this point, why lie about it? Like,
Yeah,
if it's gonna be common knowledge, you might as well just own up and just say, "Yeah, this happened, and like,
Hear that, Hulk Hogan?
yeah, fuck that
Yeah.
guy, Hulk Hogan." By the way,
I'm
I
sure it
actually-
was his idea to make John Cena heel. I'm sure he'll tell everybody he took the credit.
oh, he probably will. He'll be like, "Oh, my heel turn was responsible for John Cena's heel turn," and brother.
Did you see that video of Seth Rollins today, where he's opened up a pack of cards he's at like some Topps convention, and he's sitting next to a black dude, and he's looking through the cards. And he goes, "Oh, I gotta let you." Oh, it's Hulk Hogan, and he goes, and the guy's like, "Yeah, Hulk Hogan don't like us too much," and he goes, "Yeah." It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
It's wild.
it is. And to circle back to Luger real quick, Lex Luger did a lot more for the business, and I think a lot of people probably think he did. Like, I mean, say what you will, but like his appearance on that first episode of Nitro,
Yeah.
that was huge all in itself. But then you had like Luger winning the WCW title from Hulk Hogan, like that was a big deal at the time. And
Yep.
like even all the success in WCW, and I've heard that argument too, like, oh well, he didn't do a real whole lot in WWE. I'm like, well, he still did enough in WWE to deserve like some sort of like
the USA Super Lex Luger thing, it just
Yeah.
didn't work with fans. I mean, it worked with John Cena, but it just
Yeah.
didn't work with Lex. And they really put a lot on him too early on after Hulk Hogan was ready to leave.
That was
And I want to bring this up too, real quick, Shifty. Is like when I hear that argument, like, oh, most of his accomplishments come from WCW. I'm like, Sting's in the Hall of Fame, and for the last time I checked, most of his accomplishments is in WCW. So
Right.
yeah.
realistically, I don't know what the argument there is that on that one, but like, if we take personal bias out of it, like I think people like it just comes down to wrestling fans getting up in their feelings about certain things, and
Yeah, it's that it's the stuff with Elizabeth, but it's also 93 and 94. Vince, he wanted to use Luger, but the fans were pressuring him to use Brett, and he was wishy-washy on giving Luger the title when he should have. He should have gave him the title at SummerSlam, but instead they did that stupid count-out victory where he slammed Yoko, and Yoko got counted out. And then everybody stupidly came in the ring and celebrated with Luger, and it was the dumbest thing. I remember I was a kid, and I was like, what is this? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. He didn't win the title. He won by countout. That was dumb. And then you had to wait all the way to WrestleMania. And then there was that rumor, though Lex shot it down, that there was a rumor that he got drunk and spilled the beans that he was going to win the title at WrestleMania 10. And then Vince found out, and then he switched the story. Lex says that wasn't true, but, who knows? But, man, I don't think they used him correctly, especially after all that build-up with the
100%.
The Lex Express. Even as a kid, that didn't work with us. It was lame. It was lame, especially because when they were trying to push him, everybody was getting on the bandwagon of Razor Ramon, even when he was a heel. He was the first heel that I remember that the kids were like, he's a heel, but really like him for some reason. And that's when they started trying to transition Razor into being a good guy. They put the Intercontinental title on him. It's the same pay-per-view that Lex got the count-out victory. So there was some friction with him, and there was friction with Brett to where, there was more popular guys there because they're not pushing Lex, like they should. And it was a mess.
I mean, and Lex I don't know. For me, I just felt like he just didn't want it. Like he just didn't reach his potential. He didn't want it. I just think he was just happy just being another guy, which is how he was in WCW eventually. He was just another guy, that was on a mid card, and he was fine with it.
Yeah.
I feel like, but also to Shifty's credit, what he said too, Vince did not know how to use Lex Luger the way he wanted to use him, because you had the Brett thing where the fans wanted Brett, they didn't want Luger, and then it's like, even if you have to put the belt back on Yokozuna at some point, which I know that'd sound a little eye rolly at that.
And you gotta remember Shawn Michaels wasn't ready yet either.
No, but realistically, but I agree with Shifty. Would it really have killed Vince to just experiment for a couple months and see if Lex as champion would have worked? Because
speaking of that, did you see the clip of where it didn't air on TV, but it was during a Superstars taping. They gave Luger the belt to come out, and he came out with it, and Vince, he was like, would you people like to see this as an actual reality? Lex Luger as your WWF champion, and he was carrying the belt, the championship, to the ring, and he was holding it up and everything, and he walked around with it. It's on YouTube. And he went back, and Vince said, this could happen if he wins the match at so-and-so. It was weird. It was weird. I didn't see it till years and years later after the fact, but that I don't think he's ever done that with anybody else. He was polling the audience, and they were like,
It was like, at that point, it was like, I guess, but we really want Brett. It's not like... I think with Luger, it was just an unfortunate set of circumstances that really kind of screwed him in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go all day about Lex Luger.
Another thing, one of his, I think it was his last storyline where he was feuding with Tatanka. It might have been, it was close to the end there, to where it was up in the air. But if was he going to turn or was Tatanka? So one of them was the $1 Million Man was trying to court one of them to join his stable, and of course it ended up being Tatanka. But a lot of people were mentioning how they kind of used that for the Rock and Cena angle at Elimination Chamber. They said it reminded them of the Tatanka Lex Luger storyline back in the day.
But unlike that storyline, Ted DiBiase wasn't trying to suck out their souls. He was just getting money.
Yeah.
God.
So just an update on SmackDown. Jade Cargill is kicking Naomi's ass again.
Damn.
Good God. Someone better stop her before a murder happens.
Yeah, they said today, I read a story that her and what's her face? Who was the one that was with oh God. I done forgot her name. I brain fart again. Never mind. I done forgot.
Oh, Rome, was that line of Cena being a bottom for the Rock that you were mentioning Randy Orton's thing on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, he was the first one that came out for SmackDown and just addressed John Cena turning heel and how he gave the Rock a bottom or a low bottom, or he gave the Rock a low Rock bottom a new meaning or something.
Gee,
I read it in
good
quotes.
God! All Cena's rivals are like, "Wow, we were right all along."
Who was the chick
even Randy went into it. He was like, "Yeah, since going back when I first started in this business."
Who was the chick that used to come out or was with Ronda Rousey, the other wrestler girl, the technical wrestler, the UFC fighter girl? She was with Ronda Rousey. She's the one that chased Ronda out of the WWE.
Shayna Baszler?
That's it. Yeah, she had a heat with Cargill, supposedly, because that one match where Baszler put her in that chokehold and she was tapping before the end of the match, and
Yeah.
she was actually shooting in that match and choking her out. And they went backstage and they got into it, and they said Cargill got heat over it, and she also got heat for taking time off, asking for time off over the holidays, which a lot of people didn't get. Then she got injured and all. So supposedly Cargill has a lot of heat right now. Supposedly the reports are that.
Sorry to cut you off. I was just listening to the promo with Naomi and Bianca Belair. So they're doing a Rikishi Rock storyline where she just said, "I did it," similar to Rikishi. I'm not kidding. She called Bianca an ungrateful bitch.
Oh.
Fire.
Oh man, we haven't even talked about the natural disasters in the Hall of Fame yet. I mean, does anybody have anything to say about this? Or
oh yeah. Is Earthquake in already, or is this his first induction?
I would suspect this is his first one.
Okay, that's weird. He should already be in there, but this is the only way Tugboat was going, or Typhoon was going to get in. They were a very impressive team, especially if you watch any of their matches against LOD in Japan. Wow. I'm glad to see Earthquake get in. He, like I said, he should have already been in. But yeah, I just wish Earthquake was still with us. He was. If you watch that Dark Side of the Ring episode, it's kind of sad how he passed away. But he was a great big man, especially in Japan. That a lot of people don't know how much he actually did over there before he came to the WWE. And I'm glad they're finally putting him in. Yeah,
and speaking of Earthquake, like when we were doing our WCW watch a shifty, when we watched that that Fall Brawl War Games pay-per-view, and we saw Sting and Earthquake, and he was known as the Shark, I think, in that match. We were like, oh man, that was actually really cool. We actually, I'd be down to watch a Sting versus Shark match. They did it. I think they did it the following week, and that it was the very short, and I was like, oh, I was devastated. I was like,
You remember the episode where he fell on Scott Norton by accident?
Oh, yeah, that was so stupid. I think that was like the go home show to Fall Brawl. I think because Scott Norton on the first episode was like, "Oh, I need to challenge somebody." And Ray Fenix was just like, "Oh, I'll fight you." And then he enters the ring and he just starts going crazy, and we're all like, okay." Then they have a match, and then then suddenly the fucking Shark comes in, and he I guess Ray Savage does something, or something happened. He
got knocked out, and he falls
knocked out. Norton he gets trapped. Savage hits the elbow, 1, 2, 3, and then the Shark and Norton got into it. They were kind of feuding there for a bit. I don't know. I don't know what happened after that, because we kind of stopped after towards. I think it was after Halloween Havoc we kind of just stopped because I
don't think we didn't get to Halloween Havoc, did we?
No, we did.
Yeah, we did. Okay. It was the episode right before Hogan pulled out the sword that we stopped.
I mean, I saw World War III. So if anything, if we ever go back, because we're basically, if we would ever do it again, we would probably just stick with the pay-per-views, and then we'll just talk about the storylines. Because oh my god, the whole Hogan pulling out the sword thing was just literally you're flabbergasted watching this, because nobody, very rarely just people talk about this era of Hulk Hogan, where Hulk Hogan goes to the dark side, pulls out a fucking sword.
He's talking like he's from Lord of the Rings or something. It's so weird.
He's like, I'm gonna put the Taskmaster's head on a silver platter, or Randy Savage is on my side, and he's talking in riddles, and I'm like, bro, shut up.
But that finish though, that is one of the craziest finishes. It was so dumb. It should have been disqualification or something. He's passed out and he's laying over top Scott Norton to where Norton can't get up. And then Savage hits the elbow, and then he pins him, and it's weird. It's dumb. It's crazy. It's fun though, but it's stupid.
Good old WCW, very dumb.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, at that time, kind of creative in all the wrong areas.
Yeah.
Because these were the same guys who a couple months later did the fucking Doomsday to end Hulkamania match.
Yeah, a Giant getting pushed off the top of the roof.
and then comes back like he's fine, like fucking after that. It's like, oh my god, what is it like that company was on crack or something.
I wish Rose would have watched that with us because man, I'm still pissed at how Tony Schiavone treated Bobby Heenan that night on commentary. He was like, oh, whatever, Brain, whatever. And Brain's working his heart out trying to sell what had just happened. And Tony don't care. He didn't care.
But of course, that series did spawn the running gag of Eric Bischoff going, we just got word that the footage will be arriving. Well, wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Because that's all he would say on night.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. And then he's like, well, we just got word that Hulk Hogan will be wait a minute. Oh my, wait, what's that going on over there? And then Bobby's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, Eric. And then you got Mongo in the back. It's like, that Bob and the weasel heated. And then everyone's like, well, wait a minute. Oh my God.
He's sitting there with that dog with a little cowboy hat on.
Oh man. Jesus. Fucking WCW.
Yeah.
You hated it when you watch it, but then you kind of miss it now that it's gone. You're just like, oh man.
Yeah.
But
so what else you got?
Oh, we got your rant on certain somebody if you want to do that.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, so Michelle McCool, I swear to God, Michelle McCool and Mickie James has legit heat because Mickie James should be getting the Hall of Fame induction this year. But no, it's Michelle McCool. I don't remember a single thing that Michelle McCool did that stood out other than teaming up with Layla, and I don't remember anything major with that. But Mickie, how do you not put Mickie in before? She's the one that drove Mickie and him out, or Mickie out of the WWE with that Piggy James storyline after Mickie got in trouble for the backstage shenanigans with John Cena. I don't know if you guys remember what happened there, but so she's getting in the Hall of Fame before Mickie. Okay, now this broke yesterday. Undertaker said that he would like to keep the LFG show, which is boring as fuck. He'd like to keep that going as long as he can, but he wants to. He would only do it if Michelle McCool got on the show. So now she's replacing Mickie on the show. So not only is she taking her rightful spot in the Hall of Fame this year, which she's taking her spot on LFG. So what the fuck?
Yeah, I heard about that on Twitter today, and I'm thinking to myself, what? Because the thing is with LFG, I haven't watched it, so I can't really comment on
It's what it is. It's basically it's like if NXT is the minor league for WWE, this is the minor league for NXT, kind of, which is weird because they have evolved, but it's bloated. And it's dull, and it's trying to be tough enough, but it's nowhere near as entertaining as Tough Enough was, especially that last season, which so many people came out of that last season. But this is just I only gave it one episode. I didn't care for it. The best bits you can just watch on Twitter is when they bring in the superstars and they talk down to the kids or whatever. And two of the people in there is dating. You got. Roxanne Perez and the gal from American Alpha or whatever. Both of their boyfriends are on the show trying to get a contract or whatever, but it's just not. It's not. I mean, if you don't have anything else to watch, but it's not that great.
It's just a very generic.
It's not a huge loss for Mickie in that sense, but still, fuck Michelle McCool. It's.
Yeah, I agree with you. Realistically, Mickie James should have went in before Michelle McCool. when you think about women's wrestling during that time, which really wasn't that great, there's only a few names that really stuck out during that time, and that was Trish,
Nikki.
Lita, Mickey,
Victoria.
Victoria, Beth Phoenix. Like, I'm not saying Michelle McCool was a bad wrestler. I think she was pretty good from what I remember. But let's kind of face facts here. Who do you remember more, Mickie James or Michelle McCool? Like,
I wouldn't even put her. I mean, star power. I wouldn't even put her above like, the blonde girl with the eyelashes. What was her name? Kelly, or you got Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler and a whole bunch of other gals. I mean, I don't think she's that Hall of Fame worthy.
Well, and also not to mention too, like Michelle McCool was really there for like a cup of coffee, basically. Like she wasn't there long.
7 years supposedly.
Well, let's see what Michelle McCool did. I'm because I think Mickey was there longer than her. Well, actually, I don't know because she was there from because she left in 2010, I think.
She got in trouble backstage. She was sleeping around supposedly with John Cena, and she made that public when Cena was married. So, and that started a lot of crap. And then he got divorced soon after that. But Cena was sleeping around anyway. He was with I think Kendra James, the porn star, and
he had a very interesting backstage. I know that. Same with CM Punk. Same with a lot of wrestlers. I mean, they're on the road. I mean, they're gonna be hooking up with pretty much every diva in the back anyway. There's so many stories about Kelly out there. There's so many stories about Lita and just everybody.
Oh, yeah. I heard stories about Lita before she even got into WWE. ECW, boy, I heard some stuff. Wow, I can't talk about it on air.
Let's see here. I mean, I guess she is. So she is the first Divas champion, and she is the first female wrestler to hold both the women's championship and the Divas title.
And she did stuff, but I mean,
and she unified both titles, becoming the first and only unified Divas champion. So I guess realistically, she did do something. I'm not trying to discredit her.
Yeah,
I just think realistically,
Mickey should go in first. Mickey.
Yeah. So that's really all I'm going to comment on because again, I don't want people thinking, oh, we're going after these wrestlers because it's like no, it's just we kind of have to see it how we see it here, and it's like I mean, it's not that big of a deal with LFG because it's kind of like okay, but I think it's just kind of a point, that we're trying to make. So, shit happens.
Now, if they replace her husband with Michelle McCool as the GM of SmackDown, now that's a problem. It's going too far.
Yeah, if the Undertaker magically became the general manager of SmackDown overnight, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah.
God, man. Well, dude, imagine literally Nick Aldis it's almost like The Rock doing the whole he's taking Cody's spot WrestleMania. It's gonna be Nick Aldis coming out. He's like, I'm gonna be your general manager of SmackDown, but no more. And out comes the Undertaker, and then he just looks at him really sad, and Undertaker just looks at him. He's like, "Your soul is mine now, boy." And then
Michelle McCool is the new GM.
No, he's like, "No, I'm the new GM," and he choke slams him or something. And everyone is really confused. We're all just why? And then the Undertaker's like, because I'm a dead man walking. And he just goes on his motorbike or something, and he just riding around, and that's the entire main event of SmackDown. Nick Aldis is just crying in the ring. He's he's no longer general manager. The Undertaker's riding around on his motorcycle, and then everyone's just puzzled and confused, why is this happening? And then it all leads to, of course, a big mixed tag match with the Undertaker coming out of retirement for one night only as the final dead man, and he and Michelle McCool versus Mickie James and Nick Aldis.
What?
Yeah, I don't
The other
know.
long overdue would be the Hollywood Blondes.
Oh God.
God, the Undertaker becomes a Hollywood blonde. That would go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So I feel like we cover. I feel like we're about an hour in. We probably need to talk about the Elimination Chamber at some point.
Oh
since
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
part of the see. This is what I like about the show. Even though like the title says something, we just do other shit. That's just like everyone's like, wait, you guys aren't talking about Elimination Chamber. No, we are talking about Elimination Chamber. We're just talking about it late. You know, I'm not. I don't think we're gonna run down the card. I don't think.
Let me say something here. I did not like the presentation this year. They had the overhead shot, but they didn't do the lights where the lights would run around. Where it would get dark and they would have the lights. And it would land on the one where the pod opened up. They do that every year, but this year they didn't really do that. It's just it was kind of hard to tell which pod was opened up. They would.
Yeah.
They didn't do the roulette.
Yeah.
Right.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
You were saying, Rome's?
No, so I really enjoyed the Elimination Chamber match. I thought the PLE in general, I thought it was surprisingly really good. It wasn't the best, but it's up there as like a really entertaining. I mean, the least favorite match in that card was the tag team with Trish and Tiffany and that stuff. That was the only thing I could say was just didn't have to be on there, but I get why. But outside of that, I thought everything else was pretty good. I mean, I thought you got a women's Elimination Chamber match. That opening with Jade Cargill coming in before the match even started, that was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, just to give I agree with Rome's. The pay-per-view was very good. I was actually really surprised. I was like, because last year I thought it was okay. Like it was just kind of like it was just okay. This one I was like, oh. I kind of had that same expectation, like, oh, great, it's the Elimination Chamber, like it's that kind of that stereotypical middle of the road, we got to get to WrestleMania somehow, type pay-per-view, and then we got to this, and I'm like, oh god, and then I watched, I'm like, huh, that was pretty good.
Right from the beginning, they're throwing swerves at you. I mean that Cargill. When Liv is like, oh god, Liv was like, oh, she's coming for me, and then she went straight to Naomi. I'm wondering if they even told Liv and Naomi or anybody that they were switching it, because they had fingered that it was Raquel and Liv that's the one that was attacked them, but I mean she looked genuinely shocked that what was going on, and wow, Bianca crying in the pod over what was happening, and then her getting emotional after the pay-per-view. That good stuff.
Yeah, the Jade. I agree. The Jade thing when she came out, I was like, oh wait, what? I was kind of confused because we heard that she was coming back at some point. We didn't think she was going to come back right at Elimination Chamber. And then she came in and I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on here? And then she's being shot at Naomi and we're like, holy fuck, oh my God. And then Bianca's like, no, please, no. And then she slams the Elimination Chamber door into Naomi's face. I was like, oh my God. And I thought oh, Jade's going to take her place or something. Or they're going to do something really crazy here.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
And you know what? Last week when we were going down the questionnaire, I was like, man, I should pick Naomi first out. But I remembered she was the first out last year. I said, there's no way they're going to have her get kicked out of Elimination Chamber first 2 years in a row. It happened.
They somehow did it again in a very clever way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. But as a whole, though, the match itself, I'm really going to call it the 5-man Elimination Chamber or the 5-woman Elimination Chamber. It was actually really good. I will say it was a lot better than the women's War Games and the women's Rumble.
Right.
It was.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yep.
I'm going to say too, the MVP of that, unironically, as much as I love to give her a lot of crap because I think her fan base like is horrible, but Liv Morgan really had a great showing in that Rumble or Chamber match.
I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, it shows like it was either going to be Liv again, a Liv versus Rhea, or it's going to, well, time we thought Liv and Rhea, or Bianca or Rhea, because those were the only two that I think can match her in a match or chemistry wise. And I like they went with Bianca, but unfortunately, Rhea won't be wrestling Bianca.
No, I have a suspicion. I think it's going to be a triple threat because they're not going to leave Rhea off the card.
No, it'd be weird. Also, I guess I like Roxy. I thought Roxy was pretty good too. Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Roxanne, I think it's going to be like another Tiffany situation where she had a really great showing in the Chamber. I think she has a strong case of either becoming Queen of the Ring or Miss Money in the Bank at some point this year because man, I'm telling you, like NXT produces a lot of great like women's talent, and Roxanne Perez is a really great like. I don't know if she's homegrown or if she was in Indies first, but she was a great NXT talent.
They said on the pay-per-view that she started when she was 13. So
yeah, she's a wrestler. She loves wrestling. That's her thing. I'm excited to see what they do next with her. I like that they're testing the waters with her, like they do with Tiffany, and we'll see where things are 6 months from now.
Yeah, I really hope so. She was really great, really impressive. I think all the women did a great job. There was one spot in particular where even I had to wince was when I think it was like Liv and Bianca like on top of like the chamber pod, and Bianca used her hair and whipped Liv, and you just heard the snap, and I was like, holy shit.
Well, we got blood in that match.
Yeah. Not in like the more like convenience, like it's not like the more typical standpoint of like they'd be bleeding from the face. Like you saw like Liv with like a lot of like marks and like I was like, oh my god, that's brutal. But I thought for the most part every woman in that match had a great showing, and the chamber match was just very good. Like it was a very good start. I'm like, but see, this is where like my pessimistic side came in because I'm like, oh god, there was this really, really strong start. Now the show's going to really go downhill because I've seen this before with a lot of these WWE pay-per-views.
Oh, of course.
Like a few years ago under Vince, where you have a really, really good start, and then as the show goes on, it got worse and worse and worse. Like I'll use this as an example, like Backlash 2018. We had a really, really good start with Seth Rollins and The Miz for the IC title. But then as the show went on, it got worse and worse. And then you got to the main event of Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. Oh, my God. That shit sucked so bad. Like, oh, my God. That actually gives me a lot, like, post-traumatic stress just from talking, like, just from thinking about it. It's that bad. Like, but the rest of the show was great except for the next match. I'll be the one. Oh yeah, Bianca won the match. If anybody's wondering, and
and we predicted it. I think who was going to win that match, so it made sense. She'd be the one that was going to win this.
Although, like to really think about it, it does kind of put a damper on this whole like Jade and Naomi like Bianca thing. If like Bianca's like, oh god, I'm so devastated. Oh wait, I'm getting a title match at WrestleMania. All right, never mind. Like it's all right. Like you guys figure it out. Like, I mean, I think they maybe addressed that on SmackDown, but it was kind of weird, like having Bianca be like, "Oh no, I'm so devastated." That it's like, "Oh, I'm getting a championship match."
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold up. Naomi called Bianca Belair an ungrateful bitch.
Yeah, I was explaining that earlier that they're doing the whole Rikishi Rock storyline where she's like, instead of saying I did it for the Rock, she's basically saying, I did what I did to Jay because she was riding a coattail to the top or something like that.
Huh.
And then at the end, as Bianca walked out when Naomi admitted that she did do that to Jade, then you hear Jade's music coming out as Bianca walked out in tears.
Wow, then maybe I was wrong there. Cody Rhodes is scheduled to be on SmackDown. He's gonna have a promo segment tonight.
Yeah, supposedly it's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh
Wonder
man,
how his eardrum is doing.
man's gonna come out in a neck brace and a little black eye. He's gonna cry in the ring about how John Cena turned on him, and he's like, "Oh, I've never
I'm
do
not
that
gonna
to my
give up.
fans." He's like, "I'm not gonna give up."
You kicking me
I
in the ball?
gave my soul to you people.
I gave my soul to the people, and I'm sticking to it because I'm Cody Rhodes, and I'm a fucking dweeb and a loser. Like, come on, like let's
Yeah.
call it for what it is. Cody Rhodes is the most lovable fucking loser I've ever seen in my life. Like, for the love of God. Like, bro, you know what makes this Rock thing, and I think we talked about it in our conversation. What pisses me off about this whole Rock, oh, you need to give me your soul, boy. What pisses me off, okay, the reason why it worked with Vince and Austin was because Steve Austin was like the antithesis of like the anti-corporate guy. Cody Rhodes is the most corporate fucking guy you could pick ever.
Exactly.
Like this. Cody Rhodes is wearing a suit. He's like shaking hands. He's crying, like he's crying in the ring. Like he's like, oh, I'm Cody Rhodes, and like this is my life, and I love. Like, bro, this man is the most like even the nerds in like high school would probably beat this guy up. Like that's how much of like that's his character. He's just like a lovable fucking loser. He's just like the most generic, like normal man you'll ever see, and he's the most corporate guy ever. Why is The Rock going, oh, you need to be my corporate champion, boy? What? Like,
he's already the corporate champion.
He's already the corporate champion. He's the perfect corporate. Like, it doesn't make sense. Rock. We'll talk about it more. My God, the Rock. I swear to God, The Rock always does shit that like somehow.
Hey, can we skip the tag team match with Tiffany and Trish, because I feel like that's going to waste time.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna mention the match itself wasn't very great.
Yeah.
I walked, like, I swear to God, I literally walked away because I was like, oh, I'm going to get some popcorn. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I came back. I saw Nia Jax, like, humping, like, Tiffany Stratton or something. I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm going to turn the other way. and I saw the rest of the match. And me and my brother were watching it. And even he's like, this screams, like, SmackDown match. Like, it had no reason to be on the pay-per-view. I understand why it was on the pay-per-view because it's in Canada and Trish Stratus, but there was something more. You could have done something else. Like that was
could have had a U.S. title match.
Yeah, could have.
That's gonna be later on tonight on SmackDown. Nakamura versus LA Knight.
I think they said it's gonna be the main event. I think, which
okay,
which makes me think that it's probably gonna be LA Knight's probably gonna win the belt back or something. Because I don't know, because I don't know how you're going to have that main event and not have the title change hands or something. But anyway, okay. So I think it was before the Owens and Zayn match that like there was like that whole Rock puff piece. Which
that's correct. They went all over. There was a big pluff, egoistic. I have 500 million followers, and I made $88 million last year, and Tamara, you this, and I don't know what else they were talking about.
And like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, why are we doing a Rock puff piece in the middle of the show? Like, I get he's gonna be in the main event. He's probably gonna be like the last thing on the show. But for the love of God, guys, like really, like that's what we're really using this time for. The Rock. And be like, oh, well, Red One was the most viewed stream thing on Amazon Prime. And I'm like, what? Does anybody really care anymore about Red One? Like it's like it almost be like if The Rock was just bringing up Black Adam on a weekly basis. It's like for the love of God, Rock. It's like it was just really funny. Like in hindsight, it's like really, like the really Rock like that. I just thought, realistically, I thought that was fucking hilarious. Just The Rock being like, oh, yeah, $80 million. Like, the biggest draw. It's like, okay, Rock, whatever you say, buddy.
I didn't even get that on the ad tier, Peacock. So maybe that was a good thing.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. And then we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the unsanctioned match, which apparently Meltzer gave it 5 stars.
That That's
I don't know if
odd.
people care about Meltzer ratings anymore, but that I just figured, hey, saying no one's got a 5-star match out of it, so I thought the match was, it definitely was very tame from like a unsanctioned match standard, but for what they were able to do, god damn, that was kind of brutal. Like they went all out. Like there was crowd brawling, a bunch of table spots, Kevin Owens beating up referees. Like it was like, good God, there was a lot of like moving pieces there. Is it like their best match against one another? I don't know. But will it probably be one of the best matches of the year, like WWE wise? Probably.
Remember a few years back where they had the big final time ever match between those two? After like 10,000 matches they've had, they were making out a big deal on Raw. They was like, this is the last time you'll ever see these two fight.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it was gonna be on that Battleground pay-per-view, and then then Sami Zayn won, and I shit you not, like a couple like months later when Kevin Owens won the Universal title, Sami Zayn fought Kevin Owens again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Why not? Let's throw logic out the window.
So I'm just looking at some of the SmackDown stuff. Chelsea Green walked out with Cactus Jack gear.
What?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like
nice.
that. And Pepper came out with like, I think,
Dude Love.
Not a do love. I'm not sure what she's trying to be, but it was pretty entertaining.
Was it Chainsaw Charlie?
I don't know. She just had like a suit jacket on, dress shirt, and like a suit, pretty much a suit with a tie tied in an awkward way. So
No.
but it was the more focus was just on Chelsea Green wearing Cactus Jack gear.
That might be corporate mankind.
Maybe.
That'd be interesting.
But it was pretty cool because she has taken a lot of bumps like the last year. So I'm happy Chelsea Green kind of represent.
Yep.
They just had a really interesting, solid match with Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
Oh,
they did that on SmackDown?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that.
Did Jacob win?
No, there's interference with the Tonga brothers coming out. It was a good match. Jacob got chokeslammed through a table.
Gosh darn it, Tonga Loa. But I want to kind of go back to the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match real quick. I'm kind of disappointed that Kevin Owens didn't break out a package pile driver for the match, but I guess that 2 apron power bombs was a little. I think Kevin Owens went far enough. The most brutal move in wrestling, the power bomb on the apron, not the package pile driver, mind you, the power bomb on the apron. Even though we've seen people give people power bombs on aprons before and it was fine, but when Kevin Owens does it, nope, you're out of action for a few months.
Speaking of which, yeah, the guy that was out for a few months.
Oh yeah. So anyway, after a really good, interesting match, a really good match between Owens and Zayn, then Kevin Owens like pulls up like the mat because assumably he's gonna package pile drive Sami Zayn, and then you hear I hear voices, and then the crowd goes nuts like, yeah, this is the voices song, which Randy Orton's back. And the most important thing about him coming back, Randy Orton brought back the sleeveless sweatshirt look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, I missed that sleeveless sweatshirt. I don't know why he's so fixated with them, but god damn it, I why he didn't have it when he came back, in November or like a year ago.
I feel like it was just a fan thing. I'm sure fans were asking him about it, and I think here that it was a good look for him.
It kind of was. And then Randy came back, the crowd's popping, they're singing voices like the international crowds do, or like crowds do now. Like He's like, I hear your voice, and then everyone's like, yeah. And then like Owens had a brawl. Randy Orton hit the RKO, and everyone's like, yeah, he hit the RKO. Fucking let's go. And then Randy Orton's like getting ready to hit Kevin Owens with the chair, and everyone's like, no, don't hit him with the chair. Punt kick his ass. And then Randy's like, all right, I'm gonna punt kick and I'm gonna end this man's life. And everyone's like, yeah, let's go. Randy's gonna kill this man.
Great camera angle for this spot.
Yeah.
Like the entire crowd's fucking was like, yeah, kill him, kick his fucking head off. Like everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. And then like Ray was gonna do it, and then Kevin Owens gets out of the ring, and everyone goes, oh fuck, this sucks.
This okay. I thought okay. All right. I thought this was the point where all the referees and stuff jumped in the ring, but that was during the brawl between CM Punk and Seth Rollins the other night. I got my endings mixed up there.
That's all right. Meanwhile, like everyone's devastated. They're like, oh man, we really wanted Kevin Owens to die here. Well, to make up for Randy Orton, then RKO'd a bunch of security guards. And everyone go, yeah, he fucking RKO'd those security guards. And then of course voices came back on, and like Randy Orton did the pose, and everyone's like, yeah.
Security guards. More like WWE talent.
Yeah, but I just like to call them security guards because I think it's just funnier that Randy Orton's going to beat up a bunch of people that are just doing their jobs.
We need to take screenshots of those security guards because in about 10 years, one of those guys is going to be a main eventer.
Oh, probably.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
But other than that, the match and the post-match stuff I thought was great. I mean, it kind of sucks they brought in barbed wire and didn't really
that made that match really disappointing. When you brought barbed wire out, nobody was bleeding. It was just that really hurt the match quality, especially if you're gonna do it's non-sanctioned hardcore match. You got barbed wire and no one's bleeding. I mean, they took some bumps, but nothing really.
Kevin did have like a slight little cut above his eye, and he kept on touching it. It's like, oh, maybe I could get some blood. But no, it's just a tiny little trickle, but not enough to count for our questionnaire poll where I asked, will there be blood? No, it was just, I wasn't going to count just a little trickle.
There were a couple spots like there that I did kind of like I always love the spot when like a wrestler's gonna hit somebody with the chair, but then like they hit the rope and it bounces off and hits them in the head. Like it's a goofy spot, but it's always something I appreciate where it's like I call it the Kurt Angle chair spot because I always see Kurt Angle bring out a chair and it's like, oh, he's gonna hit him, but then it's the rope that it bounces back in his face, and then like obviously they take advantage of the situation. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So since chair shots to the head is illegal, would you get your own self fined?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know how that would work. I guess probably not, because like I mean you're just giving yourself CT at that point. And I guess that's punishment enough.
Yeah.
So I mean it's not. I mean I'm pretty sure like as long as you do it right, I'm pretty sure you probably won't get hurt off a spot like that. But I don't know. I mean, also during the match, I think Sami Zayn does like a blue thunder bomb through a table, I think, or it was on something. I was like, oh shit, that was cool. And then like there was like a couple spots where he was like doing like the half and half suplex, and like Kevin Owens gets back up, and he like hits the other one, and Kevin Owens was like was running into the other corner, and Sami catches him with the Luger kick. I'm like there was a lot of really neat spots that like we've seen it before, but it's like I don't know why every time I see him, it's just like, oh, that it just pleasures that side of my brain. And Kevin Owens won, which was cool, because I like both guys. So Kevin Owens winning here was cool. And then the post match stuff, Randy bringing the sleeveless sweatshirt back, I thought that was nice. Just overall, a very, very good section of it. But then we get to the main event, which is the stuff that most people are talking about. The main event chamber match, the main event men's elimination chamber. Match itself, pretty good, I think. First of all, the disrespect to my boy Drew McIntyre is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Man's getting rolled up first. Drew's devastated. Throws a temper tantrum. I'm like, yeah, I understand.
He threw a temper tantrum tonight on Damian Priest, beginning of SmackDown.
Honestly, very deserved, to be honest.
Absolutely.
So those two probably at WrestleMania, but
they already announced Jade versus Naomi. I think that's where they're going with Drew and Damian.
Seth came out in purple gear. This man came out looking like a rock star of some sort. And also always remember Seth Rollins is at fault for everything that's happening right now.
Oh yeah, that Seth outfit, wasn't it like a ode to one of Y2J's old tights?
It could have been.
I thought it looked kind of similar, not exactly, but I'm gonna have to dig deep into the archives of his tight collection. I think that might have been a nod to Y2J.
That'd be cool.
Let's see. I mean, there was a couple neat spots here, but obviously the most memorable part of the chamber, at least for me, was CM Punk comes in and he's beating up everybody, and he locks eyes with his best friend in the whole wide world, John Cena, and
that was a great moment.
They just look at each other. Cena's like, "I missed you," and CM Punk's like, "I missed you too." And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my god, are they really gonna fucking run up to each other, hug each other, kiss each other, or something?" Because I find it funny because I think somebody did a comparison where it's like, is CM Punk encountering Samoa Joe for the first time in years in AEW, and it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna beat you up," and then you have Cena and Punk who are seeing each other after so long, and it's like, "I missed you too," and of course Seth Rollins ruins everything, and then they end up getting back in the ring, and
he always does.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it took me back to Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, just their feud back in 2012.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And partially 2011 with him saying he was leaving WWE and that whole stuff, which it was great. And he's one of Cena's big rivals, in my opinion. I think once Punk finally got there in 2011, I mean, they were both neck to neck in terms of just popularity and buzz, and and he did everything Cena did too.
Yeah. And you know what's really, really interesting too is when you see that portion of the chamber, it was back and forth. I don't know, I wouldn't say it was crisp and clean, but it was seamless in a way. It was them, and seeing them go back and forth, it felt right almost. Because you hear interviews from Punk, it's like, "Oh, Punk, who's your favorite opponent of all time?" And he probably will say Cena 95% of the time. When you talk about wrestling soulmates, I think Cena and Punk were almost made for each other in a way. Because
I mean, just the direction of how they both got there. I mean, one was pushed to the moon, the other one was rejected by billions of times and somehow got there. It's just their stories are so opposite too.
Yeah, it's so polar opposite, but it was just so crisp. It was just them, and Punk is I think he was on interviews where he was talking about I think one of his last matches with John. I think it was on that Raw where he told John, "I'm going to give you a pile driver," and John was like, "Okay," because John trusted Punk to the point of "Yeah, I can trust you giving me a pile driver," and and just oh man, that portion of the match was great, and then Punk eliminating Logan Paul while doing God's work. I thought,
Oh, that was great. I mean, just going back to the Cena and Punk stuff, just seeing John's giant smiling on his face, you could just tell he was a kid again, and reminded just how much he loved wrestling again, and working with Punk or Seth Rollins. I mean, I love the double team against Seth Rollins with the two of them teaming up together.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I think it was Punk hitting a GTS or it was a GTS at AA combo, and Rollins gets eliminated, and it's down to Punk and Cena, and then it's and I find it funny how Punk was just kicking out of everybody's finishers like it was nothing. like this man just somehow unlocked the power like of I'm just gonna kick it. It's like the Kenny Omega like meme of like what's your finish so I can kick out of it. That was like CM Punk during the match. He was like kicking out of AAs, he's kicking out of curb stomps. Like this man was kicking out of everything.
You know, he was really good in this match. And I gotta give Punk credit. I mean, we keep having this whole and joke about when he's gonna get injured again, but the guy's had some special matches like the last 6 months since he came back. You know.
Oh yeah.
And you know what?
He's gonna be in a steel cage this Monday night. It's like this guy keeps being thrown into cages.
You know, and also too, like I see a lot of people complain, oh, well, CM Punk this, like they complain about CM Punk. It's like and I usually say like if you think CM Punk's not working his ass off like in that company, I'm sorry, you're just factually wrong.
I mean, it's him and Randy right now working their asses off. You can also throw in AJ Styles in there too. Like those are 3 guys who are in their 40s, mid 40s right now.
Like you could tell Punk's just having the time of his life right now. Like he's fine. Like he's working like a place where he wants to work. Like he's working with the people he wants to work with. You know, he's having great matches with guys like Drew McIntyre, and he's having great performances. It's like, come on, like the guy's happy where he is, and you know, of course, he's not gonna be happy after this because Seth Rollins just, you know, of course, like always, he has to ruin everything. Hashtag Seth Rollins ruined Christmas because Seth Rollins, of course, just had to get involved because he hates CM Punk so much. You know, he curb stomps him on like the mat of the chamber, and then Cena's like, oh God. And then he immediately takes advantage of the situation. He puts him in the STF. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, CM Punk is like dead. And you got Seth on the outside going, die. I'm like, Seth, for the love of God, it's fine. And then Punk gets choked out.
I laughed so hard on that. That was pretty funny.
So,
but things got actually a lot funnier because Monday, CM Punk dropped that pipe bomb on Seth and everybody, and he said, Becky, come get your man or something. Well, Becky screwed up big time. I don't know if you saw the tweet, but she posted a picture of Roxanne Perez where I think it was during the War Games pay-per-view where she said, we have matching tights, and she showed her picture and Punk, who she calls her wrestling dad. Well, there's been rumors backstage that he's been messing around with her, and she posted that to get heat, and she said, hey, AJ, come get your man or something to that extent on Twitter, and people got on her big time, and she took it down after about an hour, but the record is still up where she posted it, and yeah, that sparked a lot of heat, so I don't know if it was a work or a shoot, or if this is going to lead to something between Becky and AJ at some point to where they do a mixed tag, or they're going to be in the corners of their men at WrestleMania. So who knows what's going to happen? But that was crazy. I don't know because that's something you don't really. I think that was a little bit out of line because you're dragging Roxanne into it, and that's not cool.
No, it is not. Yeah. Very unprofessional. And
sorry, just I was watching more clips. It's Chelsea Green's and a street fight match with Abby Fryer.
Interesting.
Who? Alba Fryer.
Oh yeah.
Damn, she just went through a table. Chelsea Green.
Alba Fryer. Yeah, they got rid of my girl, her former tag team partner.
Gosh darn! You know what else was unprofessional? CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
Seth Rollins had a brawl on Monday as well. Punk was like, Seth, you're on site. Next time I see you, that CM Punk, I think it was like Seth Rollins came out and like he actually started dancing. I think at first.
Correct there. That was Munchin versus Chelsea Green street fight match, and then Albert Fryer interfered in the match, and the match pretty good. I give SmackDown some credit. They have some good matches tonight.
Wow. That's a first. It's been a while.
I got it taping on the DVR as we speak. But that was the end of the pay-per-view. Nothing else happened. That's how it ended.
No, nothing else happened. Of course, CM Punk and Seth Rollins had a fight on Monday because Punk was going to make Seth fear for his life. and then they had a brawl that had to be pulled apart. But that was the only other thing that happened. So Cody comes out, Cena wins the chamber, Cena wins the lull. Get ready for I was already ready for the counts. Oh, Cena wins lull. 5 moves of doom. Hashtag Cena buries talent. You know, Cody comes out, he goes, oh, whoa, and everyone's like, yeah, Cody's here, like, because all the fans love Cody. We're like, yeah, we love Cody, yeah, like, look at his little suit, like, yeah, look, he's coming out, like, and then everyone's like, and then Cena, like, Cody, the two fucking losers, like, you got Superman and you got dweeb Cody, like, shaking hands, like, yeah, and then you hear that, if you smell, and then, like,
no, before that, you hear the oof, 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 or whatever that Travis Scott song is. And he comes out, and then The Rock comes out.
No, I actually start with "If You Smell What the Rock is Cooking," and then that's when the Travis Scott song happened, and Travis Scott came out. Everyone was very confused because we were like, "Wait, what? Why is Travis Scott coming out here?" And out comes The Rock.
I still don't know who Travis Scott is.
He's a rapper.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's working on John Cena's new theme song.
Oh.
Supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he don't need a new theme song. He's got Bad Man.
I'm a bad man. Oh, man. So The Rock comes out, and he's like, Cody, it's now Saturday. It's the Elimination Chamber. We're in Canada. You need to give me your soul, boy. You're going to become my brother. We're going to be brothers by blood. And I'm just like, wait, now I'm really confused. First, you want his soul. Then you want him to be a Samoan, apparently, and like you're gifting him a truck. Like I'm like, okay, I don't think you understand how soul stealing works here.
Didn't he offer him some sort of high position in Hollywood or something?
Yeah, he offered like that. He offered him like Instagram followers, like social media followers, and I'm like,
the world.
And I'm like, Rock, that's not really a great incentive here to like turn heel here. Like you gotta give me something more. Like, see, like I think we were talking about 2 Roms on Storm Station. Like it would make sense if like Cody lost the belt and like he had to like sell a soul to get the belt back, but like he's already the champion. Like what exactly is he gaining from like just aligning with The Rock for no reason? And the fact that he was even considering it made no sense. Like he literally like a week like when Rock gave him the offer initially, Cody should have been like, no, like that's stupid. Why would I do that? And then they did this whole thing where Cody's really considering it, and then Cody's like, Rock, I want it all, Rock. But I already gave my soul to this ring and to these people. And he's like, hey, Rock, go fuck yourself. And everyone goes, yeah, fuck you, Rock. And then, like, they showed, like, the camera angle, the same angle when Rock took Cody's WrestleMania spot away initially, but it's, like, the opposite now. Like, Cody's looking at him triumphant, and The Rock's just, he's puzzled. Meanwhile, Cena's, like, he's like, oh, my God, I can't believe you said that. And, like Travis Scott's just there for some reason, but Travis Scott's just looking, like, and then John Cena's like, whoa, I can't believe you said that. It's like, you know how you say something really, really crazy, and, like, the boys at school, like, oh, my God, I can't believe you said that. Whoa. And then, like, so Cena then, like, he's like, that's like, Cody's like, nope, I'm gonna pay. I'm now my focus on John Cena at WrestleMania. That John Cena, you know, so he goes, shakes hands, goes to hug him. Then all of a sudden, Cena's face changes.
Almost. No, didn't change till Rock did the 2 fingers.
No, it changed somewhat. Like he looked at The Rock, and then you just see The Rock do the like he's getting ready to put the hit out. Like he just takes the fingers and slashes his neck, and then
give you a heads up. Cody Rhodes has a black eye.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Travis Scott. Yeah, but what's it? What Bad Blood? Whatever he did the 3 finger neck swipe, and now he did the 2 finger neck swipe. When's that 1 finger neck swipe coming? WrestleMania when a certain rattlesnake turns on Cody Rhodes.
The Cody, the Rock, Austin, Cena, like main event mafia type trio would go crazy.
No. Break a Wish Foundation.
Did you get Hulk? Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, this does set up for a potential Austin surprise because he's going to be in Las Vegas. He lives there. He even said he'll be around WrestleMania weekend. So, in a recent interview. So I would love to see him just show up and kick the Rock in the nuts and give a stunner. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I want to kind of finish up the segment before we get further more into this. But it's like, so Rock does the neck slash, and everyone's like, wait, what? And then everybody's like, and then Cena's just like, it's almost like he's a sleeper agent. Like he's just been woken up from something. He just kicks, and he takes Cody to Dick Kick City. And then Cody's on there, and everyone's like, wait. And meanwhile, everyone popcorn like, yeah, Cena trade out. And Michael Cole's like, well, John, what are you doing? John, like he's like really ready to break into tears himself. He's like, John, what are you doing? John, what are you doing? And then like he takes the Rolex watch.
You were the goat.
You were the goat. What's going on? And then like, he takes the Rolex watch and he beats like Cody's head in with it, and then he takes the belt and he hits Cody in the head with the belt, like no protected CTE level belt shots. And so Cody's bleeding. Meanwhile, Cody's probably crying. He's like, oh, John, how can you do this to me, John? What are you doing? And then Rock takes off the weight belt. And like John Cena's tearing off the shirt. Meanwhile, Travis Scott legitimately gives him a fucking potato of a like slap.
Yeah.
That, like fucked him up, which...
A busted eardrum.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like that's, I'm sorry, but that's shitty. Like, why would you do that?
And not only that, when they were trying to hold him out, so Rock could slap him with the belt, Travis was holding his head up, and Cena pushed Travis off him, and and pushed him back down into position. Dude did not know what was going on, or he was high because he was,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because he was fuming it up in the background there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So Cody's like getting beat up. His shirt's ripped off, and The Rock takes off the weight belt that says Cody's soul, and he starts whipping him with it, and then he takes Cody's blood and he puts it on the weight belt, presumably to give it to Mama Rhodes the next time he sees her. I can't wait for the Rock promo where he's like, Cody, I was never friends with you at all, you son of a bitch. My mom hates your mom. I genuinely can't wait for that. I can't wait for the Rock going, yeah, my mom hates your mom. And then he actually he's gonna mail her like the weight belt with the blood on it. He's gonna send like a little like a present box with like a little bow on it. And the Rock is gonna be like the Rock would do something really fucking crazy where he's just gonna like send that shit in like a little present box, and he's gonna like say like, yeah, my mom will beat up your mom. Or like he'll like say something really, really stupid, and then because like the Rock lately is just saying stupid shit, and then the Rock's like, "Yeah, my mom beat up your mom." So anyway, he beats up Cody with the weight belt. He puts the blood on it. Cena holds up the WWE title, and when his face is like, I want to believe the canon reason for why this happened is because the Rock learned that Cena was really a sleeper agent. And the only way to wake him up was to say the word fuck, because Vince McMahon would not allow the word fuck on TV. So Vince is like, all right, John, listen, you're going to be a good guy from now on. But listen, if somebody says the word fuck on TV, you're a bad guy. And it seems like, okay. That Cody says...
That's the only thing that makes sense, because it's either that or Rock would have to talk to each one of the people in the Elimination Chamber beforehand and give them that deal. And it's like, if you win, you got to turn against Cody, because it doesn't make no sense.
No. And also, too, it comes back down to, I don't think The Rock really thought this through, because what if CM Punk won? I don't think Rock would ever want to team up with CM Punk. Actually, yeah. I want to believe the canon reason for why he's forming this alliance with Cena is just to make sure CM Punk never main events WrestleMania ever. Because, this is just one major elaborate scheme to make sure CM Punk will never main event WrestleMania, is so he has to form the Justice League of, CM Punk antagonists for two people. It's going to be him, Cena, Rollins, McIntyre. There's going to be a couple other people. They're just going to make sure that Punk will never main event WrestleMania. Just as soon as Punk gets close, there's always that one other guy.
Bring Kevin Nash back.
Oh, Kevin Nash, he really hates CM Punk. He's gonna be like, nope, you ain't main eventing WrestleMania either. Then Booker T will be in the background, that's my big homie. And then Jericho will come back because it's Jericho. He'll find a way to come back, and they'll all just band together. They'll be like up in arms, like they're gonna be like tying their arms together. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, Punk, we're not letting you main event WrestleMania." Then Punk's like, "But I will main event WrestleMania because I got that favor from Paul. Paul, I need that favor." And then Paul's like, What are you doing?" And then like Paul's like, "I can't do that." And then Roman's like, "No, only I work the main event of WrestleMania. Oos, acknowledge me, head of the table." And of course Roman politics his way to the main event of WrestleMania because he's like, I'm not working against Seth Rollins. No way. I don't work mid card. Only I work the main event. You can't work the main event, Punk, because only I can work the main event. Seth, you can go in the mid card with Punk. You can work with Logan Paul again. Only I can be the world title match at WrestleMania. So I'll be the triple threat, not you, Punk. Acknowledge me, head of the table. Believe me. Believe that. Believe Paul. Believe in me. Believe in. And then Jay's like, "What about me, Yeet?" And Roman's like, "Sorry, you said it'll work for me. Only I can be the head of the table. only I can be the WWE champion." And then, of course, this leads into, of course, the backstage power struggle that we've been waiting for. The Rock and Dwayne Johnson and Roman Reigns battling to see who will main event WrestleMania. And it'll be a battle of who can outpolitic the other. But then they realize that Breakfast Club rules, bitch, and John Cena's like, "No, I will be main eventing WrestleMania, and I'll be Cody Rhodes clean with my golden trusty shovel, and you all will sit there and like it." And then that's how WrestleMania goes. It's just a backstage power struggle that ends with the Breakfast Club winning once again. And then, like last year, instead of it just being Cody and a bunch of wrestlers, it's going to be the entire Breakfast Club. It'll be Triple H, Randy Orton, John Cena, Sheamus. They're all going to band together. They're going to be like, "Yeah, Breakfast Club wins again." And then The Rock, sitting there in disarray, wonders where it all went wrong. And it was at that moment that a backstage fight erupts between Dwayne Johnson and CM Punk, as CM Punk will make Dwayne Johnson fear for his life.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is all really a test to see if CM Punk will keep his cool or not. Because CM Punk will go to a press conference and start screaming about how Seth Rollins is an empty-headed dumb fuck who will only go into business for himself, while CM Punk goes into business for himself and chokes out Dwayne Johnson backstage. This is what it's really been leading up to all along. The long-term storytelling building up for years and years.
And then all of a sudden, Ryback shows up and says, "Did somebody say dumb fuck?"
and then CM Punk actually like beans him in the head with a steel chair shot, unprotected headshot. And Ryback just starts eating ruffled chips, while CM Punk is like seething rage.
I swear you could do a whole podcast just you fantasy booking and just keep layering it on and on and on and on.
Oh, that's just the canon reason for why. Like, I think this is just all a big fucking elaborate scheme and an elaborate plan to see if CM Punk will actually like keep his cool or not.
I think so too.
Because I feel like CM Punk's like one bad day away from like just snapping. Like all his good progress is going to be washed away because of The Rock. Like The Rock.
Really would. What?
I was gonna say because The Rock invited CM Punk to the Moana 2 premiere apparently, and like I want to believe like Rock's like, "Hey CM Punk, how you going?" Like, but meanwhile like he's shaking his head, he's whispering in his ear, "You're never main eventing WrestleMania, bitch." And then like he just looked at CM Punk's just looking like a shock, and it's just The Rock giving him a little wink, like saying, "I got all the power here, you don't, Oos." And then he walks away to presumably be best friends with Cody Rhodes, but in reality, he really did not think this through, because if this all went wrong, he would just look really stupid.
Yeah.
Because like I think I kind of agree with you, Shifty. Like if CM Punk won, like I don't know, or like even like if Seth Rollins won, I don't know. Like The Rock would have to go up to people individually, like, "Hey,
yeah.
And like everyone's like, what?" And then The Rock leaves. Like he's just like, "I want your soul." And then it's like, but I guess the plan worked. So I guess The Rock is like a intelligent guy, I guess.
He's an intelligent guy. Yeah, I mean, you said CM Punk is one step, from breaking, down, but Yeah, I'm sure he already did that this week after that.
Yeah, he was probably told to let loose and just talk about how you feel, speak your mind,
No,
and that's what he did.
I'm talking about after Becky posted that tweet. I'm sure yeah, I'm sure he went off somewhere to somebody after he saw that because that's wow.
I also want to believe that CM Punk and Seth Rollins' brawl on Raw is actually a shoot, and
Yeah.
they were actually throwing fists, and I mean, obviously it was a work, but I would like to believe because it's funny to think that CM Punk would shoot on Seth Rollins, like, because he would just be like, "Yeah, I hate Seth Rollins so much, I'm actually gonna shoot on this guy." But yeah, so I have a theory on where this is gonna go because there's two theories I think because like realistically, I still think this triple threat between Roman, Punk, and Seth makes no sense. Like, do one of the three options. The triple threat just kind of overdoing it. And realistically, if they're already doing a women's triple threat, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So my theory is Punk's going to get in the main event no matter what here. He's going to use that favor from Paul Heyman. And the favor is going to be, all right, if I can't get this title match, I'm going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to make a match here because this build is really confusing because it's basically Punk's like, all right, well, I really don't like Seth, but I'm going to cut this promo on Cena and Rock here real quick. And Randy did the same thing, but it's like, okay, it's whatever. But if they're gonna have the Rollins and Punk cage match, which I don't want to see a triple threat at that point, just do Roman and Seth. I wouldn't like if they did this, but I can see it happening. Is if Punk's like, all right, well, I'm gonna team up with my best friend Cody Rhodes, my best friend that I just met a few hours ago, and we're gonna face Cena on Rock Night 1. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a good possibility it will. Or he's going to be like, Paul, I'm going to be in the title match of WrestleMania. And Punk's going, what are you doing? I can't do that. Like, there's no way. I don't got the power. And Punk's like, you got the power with the elder gods, or you got the power with the tribal chief. And but he's like, I don't got all the power. I mean, the tribal chief's got the power. And like, Punk's like,
I mean, yeah, he's got that thing with Heyman, but I just think there's so many extra stuff going on with Austin, especially with them that truck in the parking lot last year where it had Cena and Austin on the truck when Rock's fighting Cody. I really think Austin's gonna be worked into the match. Maybe it's a tag partner, or I don't know. I don't. It's confusing still because I don't know what Heyman could do to get him into the main event, and I don't know.
nobody knows. And if if The Rock wants to say, "Oh, this was the plan all along," bullshit. This was not the plan all along. This had to have been like this. This whole thing's a clusterfuck, but it's a good clusterfuck because honestly, it's really entertaining.
I mean, if I was doing it, I don't know if I would give Punk the main event this year. Definitely next year because he has time to where he can win the belt from Cena towards the end of the year, and maybe he could retire Cena because his last match is in December. So have
I was
him
thinking maybe
retire.
his last match could be with The Rock. Maybe that's where they're setting something up.
Yeah, have Punk versus whoever at WrestleMania next year. But if I would like to see him maybe fight or wrestle Logan Paul, maybe just like have Seth face Roman Reigns. I mean, it all depends on what Austin's going to do. I think that's the main thing. We don't know what's going to happen.
But I will say though, the promo where Cena comes out and R-Truth's like, "See, John, how could you do this to me, John? How can you do this to all the little Cena fans like me?"
Yeah.
And then Cena beats him up. Will be like that's gonna be like the most soul crushing, hilarious thing. It's gonna be, "You're my childhood hero, John Cena. I even got put all the gear and stuff because I love you." And then Cena's gonna kick him. He's gonna take him to Dick Kick City. He's gonna beat him up, and everyone's going, "No, don't beat up R-Truth." And then I also can't wait for when he tells Stu to go away, and then we're all gonna be really heartbroken. He's gonna tell Stu, the camera guy, to go away because Stu, the camera guy, was Cena's best friend when Cena didn't have any best friends.
Well, what about R-Truth? I mean, how's he going to feel now that John Cena's went heel? I mean,
He's devastated.
Yeah.
He's like, how can my childhood hero do this?
It's
Both good AA.
Oh man, I feel bad for R-Truth. But I don't feel bad for all the kids out there. I mean, God, I love the memes with Cena now, with heel Cena now, where it's like it's like give up. Like that's what's gonna be your catchphrase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Give up.
Break a Witch Foundation.
So let's get into the.
So just so you know, there's no John Cena appearance tonight. It was just Cody Rhodes talking shit.
Well, that's highly disappointing. How do you not have Cena on there? What's the deal? What's the deal with Cena not appearing?
Someone made a meme comparing Cody to Vince McMahon. He's like the Vince McMahon role with the injuries calling out John Cena. No, it seems interesting. He did shed a tear again.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, he gets paid.
What have I been saying here? What have I been saying here, guys? Like I've been saying, Cody Rhodes is crying all the time. Like he actually is crying. Like, all right, like I'm not.
You're the champion. You're not so supposed to be crying. There's no crying in wrestling.
Cody, why are you crying still? For the love of God, Cody. Like you're crying. Like are you seriously still crying over there? For the love of God, get a tissue or something. Like figure it out. Anyway, let's get to these Elimination Chamber prediction results.
Okay, all right. This was weird because a lot of the ones we picked we all agreed on, so there was a lot of questions that it made no difference whatsoever. But I still added them to the point total. Which two starts the men's chamber? Austin, you said Seth and Punk. You get 1 point. Rome's, you said Paul and Priest. No points.
Mm-hmm.
I said Rollins and McIntyre. Surprisingly, I got 2 points. Who would be the first eliminated? Austin, you said Priest. Rome's, you said Rollins. I said McIntyre. I got 1 point. You guys didn't get any points on that. Who gets put through a pod? Everybody said Logan Paul, and nobody got any points. Who are the final two? Cena and Punk. Everybody said Cena and Punk. Everybody gets a point. Who wins? Everybody said Punk. Nobody got that right. Women's match. Who starts the women's chamber? Austin, you said Bailey and Roxanne. Nope, neither one. Rome's, you said Bailey and Bianca. Neither one. I said Bailey and Liv. I got 1 point on that. Who was the first eliminated? Everybody said Bailey. Well, no, nobody got that right.
That was pin 1, 2, 3 as a first elimination. Well,
yeah, but we didn't get that one. Who gets put through the pod? Awesome. Yeah, you said nobody. You were right. Nobody got put through a pod. Who were the final two? Austin, you said Bianca and Naomi. You got one right. Rome's, you said Bianca and Roxanne. You got one right. And I said Bianca and Alexa. I got one right. Who wins? Everybody said Bianca. Everybody got a point. Zayn versus Owens. Who wins? We all said Sami Zayn. Nobody got that right. Will Randy Orton interfere? He didn't, but he came out after the match. So we said yes, but that wasn't the case. Will there be blood? Austin, you were right. No. Me and Rome said yeah. There had to be blood, but no blood. Tiffany and Trish versus Jackson LeRae. Everybody said TNT was going to win. They did. Everybody got a point. Will Cody accept Rock's offer? Everybody said no. Everybody got a point. Will we learn what CM Punk's favorite request is? You guys said yes. I said no. I got a point. Will Roman interfere in the men's chamber? Everybody said yes. Wow, that did not happen. Here's the results. Austin, you got 8 points. Rome's, you got 5 points, and somehow I got 10 points. And we've done this officially 2-3 times, and then last year unofficially we did it like 4 times. I have never won, so I don't know how this happened.
Well, Shifty is the new predictions champion, everybody.
Yeah, that won't happen again because I suck at these.
I was the transitional champion for Shifty to win the belt, and now I'm gonna win the belt back. We're doing the WCW 2000 thing where we will just trade the belt back and forth. It doesn't matter in hindsight.
Yeah, but we're going to have a lot of stuff for WrestleMania 2 nights worth of questions. So I need to get on that soon because there's going to be a lot of stuff to get some points on for the next pay-per-view.
Yes. So speaking of WrestleMania, we're now in the home stretch going into WrestleMania. I think we only have like another month or so.
Pretty much,
heading into WrestleMania. I think for Good Ol Wrasslin, we need to have some special WrestleMania themed streams heading into WrestleMania because, of course, it's the big stage of them all, WrestleMania. Like obviously, we're not going to do anything too crazy. I'm not going to make everybody watch every WrestleMania in a month.
No, but you did give us some crazy stuff last year, and I was the only person that actually did it. It was like watch all the Austin and Rock matches or something.
It was like the Rock. I think we were gonna do like a Rock ranking, but just again, like things happened.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I watched all the matches for nothing.
But actually, maybe they won't be for nothing because.
I can't remember them now.
Oh, well. Shit, see. Now that kind of puts me in a pickle here.
That's fine.
Because my thought was, okay, it's WrestleMania season. What better way to do a bunch of WrestleMania themed streams by doing a bunch of rankings? Because everybody likes a good ranking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. I mean to cut you off, Austin. I'm gonna head out. I have to get going.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We're gonna wrap up here.
Okay.
So yeah, we ran a lot later than I thought it was going to be.
No worries, man.
Rome's, if you gotta leave, if you want to plug your stuff real quick.
Yeah, you can catch me tomorrow night on the Cool Kids review. We'll be reviewing Mickey 17. I'm also on Storm's Nation on Sundays. I have my own channel, Rome's, which I do my stuff with my friend. Digital Overlord, and talk movies and all sorts of cool stuff. And then I'm back on here talking wrestling on Fridays.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, a bunch of wrestling themed stuff, WrestleMania themed stuff gonna happen. We gone way too long. This isn't gonna be an every week thing, I promise. But
hey, you guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
See you later, dude.
Peace.
Later.
So yeah, probably gonna do a bunch of WrestleMania stuff heading into WrestleMania. Now that we got a month, maybe we'll do a little bit more WrestleMania themed stuff, but we'll kind of see how everything goes, depending on if there's like a heavy news stuff. But if there's news, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll probably still do like a WrestleMania thing, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yes. That being said, it's over 2 hours. Shifty, what's going on with you? If you want to plug anything.
You can just check me out on my Twitter feed where I post a lot of stuff about action figures and nonsense, and talking a little bit about the new Alien series coming up on FX pretty soon. You can find me at Shifty Gism. That's Shifty GISM at x.com or Twitter or whatever you like to call it. And I may be doing some streams. I always say that, but I never get to them. But maybe one day on PSN I'll be doing something. And that's it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And you can find me on this channel where tomorrow we're actually me and Angry Care Bears will do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre stream finally.
Ooh.
Because we were going to do it, I think, last week, but then things came up and, it's like it was busy on her end, so she couldn't do it. She had to work. But we're going to do that tomorrow, 1 o'clock, I think. And then you can find me on Storms Nation, typically on the Hangouts, depending on what's going on. And I'm just everywhere in between. You can find me here on Fridays. That about wraps it up, guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Austinator signing out.
Later.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.